Okay, next is the containment theory. So, outer containment holds the person in bounds can be found in the following components: a role that provides a guide for a person's activities, a set of reasonable limits and responsibilities, an opportunity for the individual to achieve status, a sense of belonging and identification with one or more persons within the group. While the inner containment refers to personal control, a good self-concept, self-control, strong ego, well-developed conscience, a high sense of responsibilities. So in short, the difference between the two is that when it comes to outer containment, it refers to our outer self, or all the activities, the goals that is beyond our inner self. While the inner containment, it talks about our ego, or how we control our emotion or ourself. In short, it talks about the personal control of an individual. So next is the social theory. The social control theory links the onset of criminal to the weakening of ties that bind people to the society. So if the ties are weakened, automatically the people inside the society will also be weakened, or magkakawatak-watak sila. Kasi kapag isang grupo ay solid at may isa dyan ang nag-weaken or naging dahilan na pagka-weaken ng ties nila, automatically yung lima nasa grupo or yung isang grupo possible na magkawatak-watak at magkaroon ng problema. So what are the elements of social bond? So yung BIAC or yung BIAC is under the social bond theory. So we have belief, involvement, attachment, and commitment. So the belief, automatically, ito yung paniniwala natin as a person. Involvement, how we involve in different activities na meron po sa ating settings. Settings sa bahay and settings po sa ating society. As well as the attachment. So meron ba tayong attachment sa ating family or wala? Kasi yung attachment yan yung magiging dahilan bakit magiging rebellious person ng isang tao. And then the commitment is very important. Commitment in your duty as an individual, as a child, and as a student. So yung 4 elements na yan ay very important when it comes to social bond theory. Kaya po, kapag sinabing social bond, take note of the abbreviation na BIAC. Belief, involvement, attachment, and commitment. So next is the social reaction or the labeling theory. So created by Howard S. Becker, explains that society creates deviance through a system of social control agencies that designate certain individuals as delinquent, so thereby stigmatizing a person and encouraging them to accept this negative personal identity. Kasi marami tayo na-experience na pagle-label sa atin ng ibang tao. It's either positive or negative labeling. So, ano po ba yung mga types of labeling? So, first is the stigmatization. So, labels are believed to produce stigma. So, people who have been negatively labeled because of their participation or alleged participation in deviant or outlawed behaviors may be socially outcasted, who may be prevented from enjoying a higher education, well-paying jobs, and other social benefits. For example, si A and si B. Ngayon, there is a job opportunity sa kanila. Ngayon, si A, kaibigan niya yung boss nila, na magiging boss nila. Ngayon, pareha silang applicant, si A at si B. Ngayon, para matanggap si A, siniraan niya ngayon si letter B. Or nilabel niya si letter B na ay dati yang magnanakaw, dati yang nangupit. So therefore, ang makakapasok sa work ay si letter A, aside from his connection from the boss. So there is what we call stigmatization, na para siya yung mapili or para siya yung mapaanyo, i-label niya yung ibang tao kahit hindi naman totoo yung pag-label niya para masiraan ito. And then second is the self-labeling. So refers to the process by which a person who has been negatively labeled accepts the label as personal role or identity. So self-labeling meaning, halimbawa yung nanay mo, nakikita ka na laging malamya, kumilos. Ang tingin niya sa'yo ay malamya ka kumilos or pabagal-bagal ka kumilos. Ngayon, ikaw masyado ka naging curious sa sarili mo, na ikaw na mismo yung nag-label sa sarili mo na malamya ka. Kasi lagi nasasabi ni mother mo, ngayon na-observe mo sa sarili mo na parang malamya kang kumilos. That is why, nilevel mo yung sarili mo as malamya kang tao. So there is what we call self-labeling. Next is self-fulfilling prophecy. So, deviant behavior patterns that in response to an earlier labeling experience, a person act out the social roles even if they were falsely bestowed. So, in self-labeling prophecy naman po, masasabi natin na halimbawa si husband, lagi siyang nilelabel or ginajudge ng asawa niya na ng bababae. Ngayon, para ma-fulfill yung sinasabi ng asawa niya, para kahit papano mawala na yung pagja-judge sa kanya, ginawa na lang po niya yung pambababae. So ngayon, meron po tayong self-fulfilling prophecy. Kasi yung nililabel sa kanya before, ginawa na lang niya kasi nililabel din naman siya, di gawin na lang niya para ma-fulfill niya yung sinasabi lagi ng kanyang asawa. Next is the dramatization of evil. So, Frank Tannenbaum suggests that social typing, which he called dramatization of evil, transforms the offender's identity from a doer of evil to an evil person. So, example lang naman ng dramatization of evil is the hired murderer. So, ang example lang po, kung kanina, hindi naman siya ganong kalala na halimbawa, inutusan kita na gumawa ng crime. Kasi kanina meron po na inutusan niya din. Pero this time, inutusan niyang gumawa ng crime pero yung gagawin na crime po is mataas po yung possible na penalty or masyadong serious para sa isang tao na gawin yung isang crime na yon. Like for example, yung pagpatay. So that is what we call dramatization of evil. So ngayon, yung doer, yung isang tao na gumawa ng crime is what we call the evil person. Kasi ginawa niya yung serious offense na hindi naman dapat gawin. So, sinunod niya dahil lagi siyang nalilabel na, nalilabel ako as pumatay ng tao. Ngayon, naging engaged na lang po siya sa pagiging hired murderers. So, yun nga lang po, dahil nga po same scenario dun kanina na parang self-fulfilling na fulfill mo yung prophecy mo, pero this time sa dramatization of evil, lahat lang po ng mga serious offenses yung gagawin mo, na dahil na label ka as ganun kang tao na mamamatay kang tao, ngayon naging involved ka na lang as hired murderer. Next is the primary deviance and the secondary deviance. So, involves norms, violation, or crimes that have very little influence on the actor and can be quickly forgotten. So, halimbawa po, sa library, nanghiram ka ng books. Ngayon, yung books na hiniram mo, hindi mo pinaalam dun sa librarian. Pero, hindi naman nila naalala na nanghiram ka ng books. So ngayon, kahit na mali yung ginawa mo, may na-violate ka na norms and rules and regulation ng library, pero hindi naman naging sikat yung ginawa mo or hindi kumalat sa buong campus nyo na ikaw ay nagnakaw kasi hindi rin matandaan ng librarian, that is what we call primary deviance as long as it is quickly forgotten. While, for example, sa secondary deviance naman po, occurs when a deviant event comes to the attention of significant others or social control agents who apply a negative label. Na halimbawa, nagnakaw ka ngayon sa isang mart or sa isang store. Ngayon dahil nagnakaw ka, tandang-tanda ka ng mga tao kasi ikaw ay napabalita. So, ibig sabihin, mahihirapan ka na ngayong mag-apply ng work since may previous record ka na ng pagnanakaw sa isang store. That is what we call secondary deviance. Na kapag yung ginawa mong crime ay tumatak sa isip ng mga tao, yun po ay secondary. Pero kapag primary deviance, kapag they are quickly forgotten. May nagawa kang pagkakamali pero it is quickly forgotten.